welcome back to my channel. My name is Charmaine and today we are just sitting right beside my bed with some weird stomach issues. I have no idea what's going on, but it feels like gastric or something. So I was due to film a video, so I thought I might as well film like a get ready with me or something, just so that we can play with makeup, because makeup's gonna cheer me up a little and make me feel a little better even though I'm not going anywhere. We're just gonna jump right into today's makeup look, which is gonna be whatever makeup look that I'm inserting right here for you to see, because I have no idea what I'm gonna do right now, but you will know because it's in the thumbnail and it's also in this insert right here. So let's just get started, and I'm going to just go in with a little bit more moisturizer. I moisturized my skin early this morning, but I think after rolling in bed for so long, some of my moisturizers like absorbed and rolled off. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with like what seems to be my current favorite morning moisturizer step, which actually consists of two very inexpensive skincare products from Fourth Ray Beauty. And these two products are the Fourth Ray Beauty Glow Up Facial Oil. It's an oil like this, and the turmeric face milk from Fourth Ray Beauty as well. I just like to take like one full dropper of this thing, as well as like maybe 4 or 5 drops of this into the palm of my hand like so, and I'm just gonna rub it into my face. Initially when I bought the turmeric face milk, I was a bit skeptical and also quite worried that it's gonna break me out, because I guess I have preconceived notions that inexpensive skincare do not contain very good ingredients for the skin. But after a while of using this on and off, I have come to the conclusion that I actually really like the feeling that it gives me. It's also quite a nice like base for my makeup as well. That's why I like to use it in the morning. I like to mix it in with like some drops of any oil that I own, and currently I've been liking the Fourth Ray Beauty one as well. I prefer the texture of my moisturizers when they are like mixed up with more oils to kind of amp up the moisture levels of my moisturizer, because I tend to have quite dry skin. And that's that on the moisturizer. I've been trying to use this up for like the longest time, but this is the Face Shop lip oil. Is the one in honey. I'm almost out. So happy about this. You'll see this in an empties video soon. And I'm just gonna hydrate my lips with this lip oil. Let it sink in while I focus on doing the rest of my makeup. For foundation, I'm just gonna go into my Revlon Photo Ready Candid Natural Finish Anti-Pollution Foundation, the one that I got in my drugstore haul quite recently. And I've been actually really liking this foundation. But after using it for some time, I have realized that I've got a color that's way too dark for my skin. So this color that you see here is gonna oxidize throughout the day to become some color that is like super duper dark for my skin. Way too dark for what I like. It's already starting to oxidize, you can see, but it gets insanely dark by the end, and I just look very dull, and it's not a very good look. So I have learned to not wear this for longer than a couple of hours if I'm wearing it out at all. If not, I actually really like the finish for like just filming at home and creating content while being at home, so that I can just instantly take it off before I leave the house, you know. But you can see that just one pump on my hands gives my skin a really nice perfected look. I obviously have some breakouts going on over here, so I'll be using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in 15 Fair for underneath my eyes and around my nose and around my lips. And then for my actual blemishes, I'm using my wonderful The Sam Cover Perfection Tip Concealer in 1.5, because this has really nice full coverage to cover all the blemishes on my face. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start with concealing my blemishes with this The Sam concealer, because I like to leave it on for a little bit to wait for the concealer to set and dry down a little bit more before I start going in to blend. I'm gonna go into my Fit Me concealer under my eyes. Also on the tip of my nose, around my lips. A little bit more around my nose as well. So once my blemishes are covered with my concealers, I'm going into the Real Techniques buffing brush to just blend everything out, starting from around my eyes, because I just want to give the other concealer from my blemishes some time to really set down and do its thing before I go in to buff everything out with my brush. I'm gonna have to give this concealer a really good blend, because the last time I did this I kind of blended a little bit too briefly. When I looked into the mirror under the sun, there were a lot of like weird patches on my skin because the concealer dried down a lot more than I expected. Okay, my skin tone has started looking a lot better now. It's now time to do my brows, and I'm gonna use my Kat Von D Brow Struck Dimension Powder in light brown. I really need to go find something new to use because this is discontinued. I've been looking, just haven't found something that really intrigues me yet. I was thinking of trying out the Fenty brow pencils, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to go back into using pencils again. I really enjoy my powders. Maybe I'll try the Anastasia one. Those dual brow powders. My brows need quite a good groom. They're a bit bushy and messy right now. So I'll be going into my brow gel or brow mascara. It doesn't really gel down the brows or anything. It just tints the brows the color of my dyed hair. This one is the gold brown color from 3CE. Just roughly running it through my brows, combing upwards when I can to create like a semblance of fluffy, feathery brows. And now we're gonna go into eyes. Every once in a while, I like to get my Game of Thrones palette from Urban Decay out to play, because ever since I got this palette up till now, I haven't actually found a way to use the palette well, and having spent like a good $92 on this palette, I wasn't about to let this go to waste. I'm still very lost when it comes to this palette. But anyways, let me zoom you in a little bit so that we know what we're doing. I've been using the House Lannister shade over here on my big crease fluffy brush, crouching a little so I am in frame. I'm sitting on the floor. Fun fact, this is like, I don't know why, but I like to sit on the floor by my bed in the morning with my coffee, my yogurt, and my book. So I actually spend a lot of time just in this corner. There's something comforting about being in like a small space. I don't know if I want to go normal or I want to go crazy. I want to do something that's not too cool toned, neither do I want to do something that's super neutral, because I think the neutral looks are the ones that are very easily derived from this palette. But when you want to use like many different colors to create like a nice look, it's a little bit more tricky, and I've been trying to make that work for me. I'm gonna try to go into Stormborn over here. It looks a lot more like a lid color that is very glittery and shimmery, but I'm gonna try to kind of just strategically place this into my outer corner here. I think it's working. It is dark, and I'm using like a smaller fluffy crease brush sort of situation. I just want to roughly put the color down first so I kind of map out what I want to do with my eyes. This palette confuses me so much. I see a lot of potential with this palette, but I just don't know why, but it doesn't come to me naturally. Like, the ideas for the looks don't come to me as easily as ideas for my other palettes do. So I kind of have like something like this right now. It's like a purpley sort of outer corner going on. I want to go into this color over here, which is Red Kip, with the same brush. And I want to like just buff this color into this area over here, which is like the inner crease area. It's like a coppery reddish shade that reflects light pretty well, and I just want to like lightly buff this into this inner crease area over here. I love it when I can concentrate on creating something and that concentration makes me forget that I'm in pain. It's always a nice feeling. Okay, with that in place, I think I am going to go into Weirwood leaves right here, which is like a dark purple with a little bit of like a satiny, shimmery sort of effect to it. Buff it even tighter into that outer corner area right here, trying to make it even more purple. I want to go back into my larger fluffy crease brush. With no additional product, I'm just going to blend everything out a little. Just running it throughout the entire area of my crease, which will then help diffuse the color a little more so that it doesn't look too harsh. It got a little bit on the center bridge of my nose, but it's alright, we can clean it up later. I'm gonna go back into Stormborn, which is the first purple shade that we used, on my brush, and I'm just gonna kind of dab it onto where we first put the color, just to layer more of that purple onto my lids. It deposits quite a nice purple sheen to the eyes, which I am kind of enjoying quite a lot. To kind of wrap up what's going on the lids, I'm going to go into Bay of Dragons. Kind of sweep it onto the middle area. Give that middle lid area a very nice shimmer. I'm going to concentrate on like buffing it into my lids so that the shimmer really shows up on my lids, especially when I turn my head and catch the light. You can see that pinky reflect going on the lids. I want to go into Frozen North, which is like a dark teal shade, and I'm gonna use a pencil brush to sort of draw like a line on my lower lash line, connecting it into the V area, which is where the darkest purples are, and sort of like form like a nice little V shape like this on the outer corner of my eye. This will help open my eyes up a lot more. I'm just gonna focus on putting it all the way in a little, like so. I'm also gonna try to like make like a nice wing on the top of my lash line as I create this kind of V connection. So it kind of goes from like my upper lash line outwards and then back into my lower lash line like so. It really helps with the continuity and the elongation of the eyes. I'm gonna go into Take the Black. It's a little shimmery, but it's still a black shade, so I'm hoping that this will help darken the outer corners, and it does. Yep, so I'm taking that Take the Black shade over here, and I'm just stamping it into this area, which you can tell instantly made this area so much more defined and tight together than this side where it's all like weirdly muddy. You gotta have to be careful because you really want to use very little at one time to control how much pigment you're laying down. And then going freshly back into Stormborn, the first purple shade that we used over here. I'm gonna just reblend everything out so that it's not too black. I guess very dramatic smoky eyes like this is always about a lot of blending back and forth and back and forth. The more you layer, the better everything becomes. Then with like a larger pencil brush, because that's what I have on hand, I want to go into some of this Free Folk shade over here, which is like a silver shade. I want to just kind of highlight this area of my eyes, give it some brightness and lightness. So then for the inner corner, I want to go into Heart Home, which surprisingly is a lot more of like a nice pale yellow shade. Is it? Well, it's definitely warmer than I expect. And I'm just gonna deposit that into the very inner part of my eyes, sort of in that triangular teardrop shape, so that when I turn, you can see like a reflection all throughout my eyes. It's like a very magical look. Okay, so I kind of just concealed the bottom to wipe away whatever fallout we have. Then usually at this time I like to kind of reassess my eyebrows to see if like I need to strengthen it a little, make it bigger, because my eyeshadows might have gotten so much bigger, and in fact they have. So the initial brows that I did doesn't make sense in the overall proportions of things. So instead of like this brow over here, I kind of extended it way past to kind of sort of match the new outer corner that my eyes have right now. And I'm just taking any darker eyeshadow color. In this case, I'm using my California Love eyeshadow palette, the darkest brown inside, called Mission, to just fill in my brows. Going into my black liquid eyeliner, I will draw like a quite a dramatic line actually across my eyelids. I'm also gonna point the insides. Alrighty, so I got some lashes over here. Still haven't gotten any new ones, so I'm gonna use something a little bit more on the wispier side. It really just makes everything look 1,000 times better and less crazy. A big eyeshadow look requires big lashes. Okay, so after adjusting everything and making sure that everything's in place, here we are with our final eyeshadow look. And just to complete the face, I'm just gonna go into some of my Too Faced bronzer, my Sweet Tea bronzer, just to kind of give my face a little bit more of a shape. The lighter shade to kind of contour my nose, making sure to go down from the brows into the bridge. Can see that my nose is starting to kind of look a lot more structured and defined even without blending it out. Just gonna tap it in so that it doesn't look too harsh. After the bronzer step, it will be the blusher step, and just randomly gonna use my Kissing a Frog blush as per usual from Colourpop. Just slapping it onto my face. I like this shade. It's like a natural, like my flush sort of shade. And lipstick, I think I'm just gonna go into this one. This is the new to me. From Peri Pera, this is the Ink Airy Stick in number 2 Pink Milk Tea. It's like a velvety, nudie, pinky sort of shade that I think will go very well with this super over the top look. It's a really nice nudie shade. Oh, I didn't do highlighting. Let me go back into this Heart Home shade. Just gonna put it on my nose here, blend it out really well, a little bit on my cheekbones as well, blend it in gently on the very tops of the cheekbones. Let me change and I'll be right back. I still don't think that this Game of Thrones palette is that great. I haven't been able to make anything work too well for me. I tend to always feel like I end up with something this dramatic whenever I use that palette. It's either this dramatic or it's gonna be like some basic ass neutral eye look with like a golden pop or like a pinky pop or something like that. I actually really like this look right here. It's a lot of makeup, but it's a very nice way to use a lot of makeup, so I guess that's that. I don't know, let me know what you think though. Do you like this makeup look? And with that, we are at the end of our video. I feel so much better after filming this video, actually, like a lot better. There's nothing like a good makeup session to lift my spirits and make me forget that my tummy is aching and I'm devoid of any energy to do anything else. But yeah, so thank you so much if you watched all the way to the end of this video, and do remember to give me a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe down below if you like this video and you want to see more. And if you are not following me on Instagram and you would like to follow me there, my Instagram handle is SharmaineCCW. I post a lot of like makeup content there as well, so make sure to check me out there if you want. And with that, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end once again, and I will see you in my next one.